Oh, there it is. Okay.
All right, good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So, the guardian is Charlie?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so he's there. How you doing, sir?
Good, how are you?
All right, so this is regarding the guardianship of Patricia Sahm, which is interesting because in all these hearings, I don't think we ever really talk about Patricia Sahm. So there's too many adverse interests circulating in this case, which I'm not too pleased about. So this is a guardianship. It's usually a closed proceeding. Has anyone authorized all these folks, court watchers or whatever you call? I don't know what you guys do, but
We have not, Your Honor. For the record, this is Catherine Lewis. I'm representing the guardian, Charlie Brevard. Considering that there are some discovery matters to be heard this morning concerning some matters of attorney-client privilege between Ms. Patwell and the ward, we would request that this hearing be closed and that anybody who is not entitled to be privy to the potential privilege communication.
And in the first hearing, she said she wanted them to be public.
we'll get to that in a minute. Yes, ma'am. What is your name?
My name is Hillary Hogue. I'm a member of the Guardianship Improvement Task Force in Florida, and I will obviously respect your ruling, but if I could just mention Florida Probate Rule 5.540, which states specifically that all hearings under Chapter 744 and under Section 393.12 shall be open unless the alleged incapacitated person, adjudicated ward, or person alleged to have a developmental disability elects to have the hearing closed. And I can go further, but that is
I
just the
understand
gist
that,
of
but
it.
since Charlie there is the guardian, he would be in a position
It does not mention the guardian, it
to,
mentions
well, she's
that
already
the
been declared
adjudicated.
incapacitated, so.
Right, but it does say the adjudicated ward, and she has been adjudicated.
Anyway, yes, sir, what is your name?
Elliot Bernstein. And in the first hearing, when you spoke to Ms. Sahm, she requested that they be public so that her friends could join in and try to prevent her from being put into a fraudulent guardianship she was afraid of. And
Thank you.
you're welcome. Thank you.
Do you want to share your name, ma'am, since you're with us as well? What's your
Hi,
name?
Candace Bernstein.
Oh,
Observer.
And ma'am, you are
Natalie Andre.
Natalie?
Andre.
Okay, and you're just sort of watching, or?
I'm with an affiliated group, Families Against Court Travesty, so
Against court travesties. Okay. I'm trying to prevent the court travesty, if you want to know the truth. But I'm not sure we're on the same page with that. But okay, and then we have, is that Kevin Hall? Is that your name, sir?
That's correct, Your Honor.
And I know you called our office or emailed. And how are you an interested party in this matter?
I'm sorry?
How are you an interested party?
Great question. Again, as I mentioned before, the genesis of this case actually came out of the fraud that was getting exposed in the foreclosure case and the bankruptcy case. I think Your Honor's been seriously misled thus far. And I think the Kitroser firm, and I guess Charlie himself, has knowingly not turned over information from those cases that would give Your Honor a much deeper and better view as to why this guardianship started.
And how would you start, sir? How would you know about it?
Absolutely.
How
So
would
it came, I'm a BFR manager, registered at the Secretary of State as the manager of the real estate company that's the subject of the foreclosure. I have direct contractual and financial rights relating to the settlement and relating to the property. And what looks like it's been happening from the beginning is some of these law firms have been trying to gauge and cut and slice and
Okay,
dice
sir.
that some.
Sir, I just asked who you are and what your interest is. I don't want a speech from you, okay? So now I know who you are, and now I know your interest, so if you could mute yourself, I'd appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And who is Luisa's iPad there? So I got to kill the whole hearing time just finding out who all these people are sticking their noses inside. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning. Morning. Yeah, I'm a court watcher in terms of Bernstein. With this case.
Everybody seems to be for the Bernsteins. Nobody seems to be here talking about Patricia or Ward. But okay. Thanks, ma'am. I appreciate being here. You can mute yourself also. Thank you. All right. So, Ms. Patwell, let me address something with you. How are you this morning?
I'm good, how are you?
I was eagerly awaiting my mail every day since we last met, waiting for the documents you were ordered to send me.
Yes, Your Honor, an attorney, a local attorney, said he took a picture that he sent them over to your, and they were in a manila envelope and put my name on it. He went down to the courthouse yesterday.
Yesterday. I probably haven't received it yet. They delivered it yesterday.
Well, the court order stated that they were supposed to be in your hands.
I understand. I understand. All right.
He delivered it to the courthouse, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, we'll see. I should get it later today, so. And, okay. So, remind me, this is a guardianship of Ms. Sahm.
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
We did have an examining committee visit Ms. Sahm.
We had 3 members of the examining.
And what did all 3 of those members say?
They found varying degrees of incapacity.
A limited capacity.
Correct.
Okay.
She maintains her right to her social environment, and there may be 1 or 2 other rights to other things.
So given the fact that the members of our examining committee all agreed she was incapacitated, the only travesty would have been not to appoint a guardian for her, I suppose.
That is what the law requires, Your Honor.
Okay.
So a guardian has been appointed, which is my client, Mr. Rivard. And as Your Honor is aware, after the committee rendered its reports, but prior to the adjudication of incapacity, the ward, Ms. Sahm, purportedly entered into a settlement agreement with members of the Bernstein family on a case that the ward had already won.
Right, in other words, she had, I think, her and her husband initially, right?
It was her and her
had sued the
husband
Bernstein.
initially. It's been a foreclosure action that
They
has
got a
been ongoing
judgment.
since 2018. They got a judgment.
And what was the amount of that judgment?
That I do not know off the top of my
Does
head.
anybody know? Yes, ma'am, you are?
I'm Patricia Sahm's daughter,
Okay, what's
I'm
your
the trustee. The final
Her
judge.
name is?
Joanna Sahm.
Hey, Joanne.
Hi.
I'm used to seeing you in the little squares.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The judgment amount was for $353, $226.
$353,000.
Correct. $226.51.
$226.51. Did the Bernsteins appeal that judgment?
Yes.
Were they successful on appeal?
Not as of yet.
So Patricia, at least prior to being incapacitated, was holding a piece of paper that says the Bernsteins owe me $323,000 and change.
353, yes.
Okay.
Correct.
And what did that case settle for, if I can ask?
Here, I have to tell, to be honest with you, I'm not able to log on to the internet in your courtroom today.
All right,
so I
but does
can't
anybody
access
know?
225.
$225,000, which has been paid.
Oh, it's waiting to be paid.
What's it waiting
It's waiting for approval
from the civil judge or?
from whoever wants to take the money. It's waiting, the money's sitting in the court registry.
All right, so Mr. Ward, is that your understanding or?
They want to spend 100,000.
Were you talking to me?
Ward is your last name, right?
Rivard.
Rivard, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the Ward. My apologies, Mr. Rivard. I've got somebody
No
else.
problem.
All right, anyway, go ahead. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, so I believe the judgment at this point, $353,000. there's certainly interest involved in that because it's been sitting and waiting.
Right.
And it seems like the action is all about delay.
All right, well, they tell me there's a proposed settlement in the amount of $225,000 or something. Are you aware of that?
All I know is that happened after or right before my aunt was deemed incapacitated.
I understand. So, I mean, it's an issue of, I guess he's the one making the decision at this point, right? Whether that's an acceptable offer.
Well, apparently the settlement agreement was executed. It was actually executed by the board after the committee found her incapacitated
after.
prior to adjudication. And the reason that we're seeking to terminate Ms. Patwell is because Ms. Patwell, to whatever extent, was involved in the execution of that settlement agreement.
All right, somebody just joined 561 number. Who is that, please? Someone on a cell phone, you need to identify yourself.
Gender Hokey.
What's your name?
Gender Hokey.
Hokey?
Yeah.
And how do you spell Hokey?
Spell it like hot.
What?
You spell it like hot, H-O-T-I.
Hokey. Well, we're going to do the Hokey
Good
vote.
looking boy.
And why are you here, sir?
I'm one of the witnesses for the guardianship for many years. I'm expert for the guardianship.
You're an expert. For whose guardianship?
Let's finish up the case and after that you can Google my name.
Okay. Let's not be a wise guy and answer my question or I'm going to remove you because this is a closed proceeding. Okay. Thank you, sir.
I can be the court watcher and I can listen. But what is the point? Why I cannot be in the Zoom? I cannot travel.
Great. Anyway. Sir, no thank you. Counsel, please, for the record, state your appearances.
Against Catherine Lewis on behalf of the guardian, Charles Brevard.
Ingrid Garcia on behalf of Patty Sahm Jr., the daughter.
Patty O'Malley on behalf of Joanna Sahm, daughter of the board and also trustee of the trust.
Amber Patwell on behalf of Patricia Sahm, the board.
Okay. So, Ms. Patwell, I did receive, I take that back. We got a little packet. So I have some documents in front of me.
Great, Judge, yes, I had an attorney deliver them, and he took a picture that he did, so I was hoping that that was the case.
Okay, well, sometimes just they go through security, it takes a while, but, all right, anyway, I have it. Thank you.
Great.
All right, and what do you want to address first today?
Well, Your Honor, we had originally set this hearing for 10 o'clock, and then you extended it to begin at 9:30 to address our 1.351 notice to Ms. Patwell that Ms. Patwell objected to. And we did file a response to her objection, so I'd like to go over that briefly. I know Your Honor's read it, so I'm going to try not to beat a dead horse. Ms. Patwell made a blanket objection to everything that we asked for, basically claiming attorney-client confidentiality and citing a bar rule, which is, I believe it's 4-1.6. The problem, Your Honor, is that Ms. Patwell and Ms. Garcia did it in the last hearing that we had, conflates the bar rule, which deals with the confidentiality of client records, with the attorney-client privilege. The bar rule only applies in situations where there is voluntary disclosure of information. So if I just happen to be having lunch with Ms. Patwell one day, I wasn't involved in this case, and said, hey, tell me about that Sahm matter that you're involved with, I'm not compelling her to disclose anything, then the rule would govern. She wouldn't be permitted to tell me much, if anything at all. However, because we are seeking to compel the disclosure of information via a subpoena, it's the attorney-client privilege that applies, and therefore it is only confidential communications that are privileged if there's not an exception or if Your Honor does not grant our motion to waive the privilege. What Ms. Hatwell did was simply assert not only that her communications with her client were privileged, but also that any communications with third parties were privileged. In fact, to this day, we haven't even seen a copy of a retainer agreement that has been executed in this matter. Additionally, Your Honor, the law does require Ms. Hatwell to set forth with specificity the nature of the privilege and what is privilege. She did not do that. She did not go through all of the documents, the categories of documents that we were asking for and state what she thinks is privilege. We also believe that this falls under an exception to the attorney-client privilege under 90.502 sub 4, because we have concerns and we believe that this relates to whether or not there was a breach of duty here. Because again, we do believe there's a report that found that Ms. Sahm was incapacitated and Ms. Hatwell facilitated her client entering into a settlement agreement anyway. And last but not least, Your Honor, we are actually asking to waive the privilege, which we believe is the guardian's right. We'd like to waive it for the limited purpose of getting information from Ms. Hatwell to investigate the circumstances surrounding the execution of the settlement. And if it turns out, as Ms. Garcia represented to the court the other day, that this is something that's been in the works for a very long time, well then, that'll probably be the end of the story. But if in fact it turns out that this was something that was facilitated by the Bernsteins, that there was a taking advantage of an elderly lady with diminished capacity, and in fact a lack of capacity, and I'm not saying that.
Well, I mean, you say facilitated by the Bernsteins. Obviously, you know, they were interested in a settlement.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lawyer?
Yes.
Was it?
I represent them in the foreclosure case, Your Honor, and I have all the documents to show the history.
Okay. I'm not, listen, I'm not start pointing fingers.
Yeah.
Well, we need to point fingers, okay.
Understood, Your Honor.
But obviously, I would, you know, if I was sitting where they were sitting with a judgment against me, I'd want to settle also.
Sure.
So they have a lawyer. Ms. Catwell represented
Ms. Sahm.
Ms. Sahm. Whether, you know, she had capacity to sign the agreement or didn't, that's another story. But if they had been negotiating this for a while,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I mean,
And that's what we'd like to look into because the time
I
is
mean,
suspect.
the problem is if it's $225,000 and the judgment was $350 or something, give or take, you know, we're going to spend that in legal fees trying to chase after the difference. I'm not sure, you know, I remember once how I needed a court monitor on the case. The clerk's inspector, you know, you should get a court monitor. And I get a court monitor. By the time the court monitor, he'd be great. The court monitor saved the ward about $25,000. Unfortunately, his bill was $25,000. So, you know, it was a big dog and pony show for nothing.
And
so
I
I'm
understand
trying to
that.
avoid that.
Right.
And right now, with all these people sticking their nose into a guardianship, sounds like it's going to be like a dog and pony show, and
Well,
I'm not really
that's
happy about it.
Part of the issue, Your Honor, is, you know, if we could just get the information without questions being filed and having the whole hearings and having 25 people show up, and it turns out that everything is very fine and wonderful, that's the end of the story.
I mean, Ms. Catwell was retained to represent her in that foreclosure suit, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Right, Amber?
Yeah, she called me regarding the guardianship and did ask for assistance.
I mean, you took over from Sweet Apple.
Yes, I tried to, he's never signed a joint stipulation. I did file a notice of appearance and I tried to file a substitution of counsel.
So that was May, if I can, you know, May of 23 or something?
Yeah, May 1st is when she hired me.
So what was the date of these reports? Does anybody recall offhand?
May 5th, I believe, Your Honor.
May 5th, where they found incapacity, but she's not adjudicated, but there were
No.
examining committees that she was incapacitated.
Right. And your incapacity, by the way, was an agreement between Mrs. Patwell and Mrs. O'Malley, who was also a partner in the same law firm that represents the estate, which I was negotiating the settlement with prior.
Is
So I had
that
the whole history to
the
explain.
dad's estate?
I'm sorry?
Mr. Sahm's estate, or whose estate? What are you talking about?
Mr. Sam's estate, because he was one of the parties in the foreclosure.
Yeah, this case has everything. We got the daughters, one daughter's pointing a gun at another daughter. I mean, it's just like really.
Right. I think I'm probably the best party in the position to show the history, and I have the documents to show it, Your Honor.
Okay. I mean, I would really like to sort of cut to the chase and start taking care of our war.
Me too.
Amen.
Well, I would love it perhaps if Ms. Garcia could provide me with copies of the documents that she has. I can take them back to my office.
there a reason why you
and
can't?
with my client.
I had them here today. This was not an issue until they decided to file this guardianship to try to set aside the settlement that had been already agreed to already.
Well, can you just sort of give me some time frame?
Absolutely.
When did you start negotiating? First of all, are the Bernsteins in that home still, or they're gone, or they're still in the house?
So you understand, Your Honor, the Sam's parents, the ward and her husband,
Right.
were very good friends and business partners with the Bernstein's parents.
Right.
Your Honor, can we swear Ms. Garcia under oath if she's been offered
No,
testimony?
I'm just asking her as a lawyer. She's an officer of the
And
court.
that was the family home. It was the Sam's family home prior, and then they sold it to the Bernstein family.
And then, of course, when
And then they
the
gave them a mortgage for $110,000.
Bernsteins are deceased, I'm guessing?
No, yes, but it's
I
for
understand.
Elliot
It's the
and,
second generation, which, all the problems around it.
and their 3 children.
Right. So, there's a foreclosure
Right.
again. Obviously, things must have went south because Mr. and Mrs. Sahm decided they're suing them for foreclosure because they're not paying their bills.
Right. What happened is there was a mortgage for $110,000.
Right.
And back on 11/11 of 2019, they resolved it for $200,000. There was issues with the lawyers and the families fighting to release the funds. So it was originally settled in 2019.
And settled for
200,000.
200, and that's with Sweet Apple and
No, this was prior.
prior to him.
Or
Okay.
this was early in the
All
foreclosure.
right, well, whatever, obviously it did
Right.
settle, it went to judgment.
Right, I have a copy of that, by the way.
But anyway, it went to
Then-
judgment.
Then what happened is the foreclosure was filed in the name of Walter Sahm and Patricia Sahm. Walter Sahm died during the foreclosure. Nobody substituted a party or informant for it, and they continued to file summary judgments, and they filed judgments in the name of the dead man, who's been dead for years. In the meanwhile, Patricia Sahm, the ward, had no idea what was really going on. Her daughter Joanna was representing her mom through her power of attorney in the foreclosure case and 2 bankruptcy cases through numerous attorneys.
Undisclosed.
So what happened then, they got the final judgment, there was appeal,
Undisclosed.
that was dismissed because the attorneys, there was lots of issues, Your Honor, and I have a copy of the motion to set aside for 1.5 crore for fraud that's still pending right now.
What is the alleged fraud, if I can ask?
There's a-
Everybody seems
there's
to be
numerous-
talking about fraud.
There's so much fraud, but I don't have a copy for
Well,
you.
don't give me a conclusion, just tell me what the allegations are.
If I could hand you this, Your Honor, and I could summarize it as quick as possible.
Great.
But basically, you have them receiving judgments in the name of a dead man without substituting.
Okay.
You have Patricia Sahm, the mother, the ward, who had no involvement in the case. Her daughter was making all the decisions with the power of attorney, but they never informed the court or never gave, Mr. Sweetapple never gave the mother, any settlement offers or anything. I was like the 4th or 5th lawyer in the case, I believe. And, so basically, they got summary judgments without service, without notice. There's service issues, there's fraud issues, there's
You
substitution.
keep telling me fraud,
Mhm.
but the Bernsteins would like to go ahead and enforce that settlement for 200 and whatever thousand.
Right.
Right.
They're waiving their rights to the 1.5 for Owen to pursue that case and to pursue other cases.
I get it.
In exchange, they settled for.
And the litigation, be done with it, because otherwise you'll be litigating for the next 20 years. I get it. It ain't cheap to litigate.
Right, and they're continuing and continuing, and they're going to continue. They don't want to, they want to set aside a settlement with no motion pending and with no basis.
In other words, they want to just have the court approve that settlement Everything else is done.
The Psalms want to set aside the settlement.
I know what the Psalms are asking.
Oh, we just want to
Assuming
have
I were to
it approved.
approve that settlement,
Right, then the Bernsteins go away, the Psalms and the
then
Bernsteins.
the Bernsteins send a check to the Guardian, and it goes into her guardianship account, 200 and whatever the amount.
25, and then they're out.
And then they're done. I don't have to see the Bernstein showing up for court anymore.
Not here.
Or all their minions who seem to, okay.
The other people in the auto, by the way, they're involved actually outside the Bernsteins, obviously. That's group, they're very nice people. They, you know,
I'm sure, I'm kidding.
I know what you're saying, Your Honor, but I just want you to understand the perspective. It's not that Bernstein's like leading this battle. I've been trying to resolve this society.
I was just always, I'm curious because they're obviously not on our email list. So in order to get entered sitting here, they don't get noticed. I'm wondering how they all seem to get noticed.
Well, they actually are on the email list, and Mr. Hall had filed a notice of appearance himself as an interested party to BFR, and there's a motion set and pending that's set for hearing, I think, next month, to strike me off as the Bernstein at BFR's interested party, and to strike Kevin from Certus. And meanwhile, I came in to represent Patty Sahm Jr. because I had an injunction, which is a whole other issue.
Well, Patty allegedly pointed a gun at her sister. Is that case going to trial or?
It has nothing to do with this, Your Honor. There is a criminal case, and there is potential result over there. David Cooperline is her attorney in that case. And, but that case has nothing to do with this case directly.
But can I ask you all a question? Joanna, for example, is there a reason you don't want to settle this thing and be done with it?
There's more to the story than what you're being presented.
Is there an offer? Is there $225,000 waiting to hit Patty Sahm's bank account?
There's a lot more owed than that, just in the judgment
How
alone.
much is it?
But if the case went to foreclosure sale, and then bankruptcy was filed to stay off the sale, and that's happened twice.
There actually was a foreclosure sale date set here.
Twice.
So the
Well,
house.
how many times did our former president go bankrupt? So I'm for loss. As he plainly states, I just took advantage of the loss, so there you go.
Well,
Don't see any impact in that.
except that the bankruptcy court found that it was not filed in good faith, and then actually lifted the order on the stay. So,
These people that, it's annoying, but I'm not letting any more in. It's ridiculous.
Your Honor, I think what it comes down to on behalf of the Guardian is this. The Guardian has a fiduciary duty to obviously protect the ward's assets, investigate claims on behalf of the ward. I have maintained for the past couple of weeks, we just want to get to the bottom of what
I
happened.
understand that, but I will just say this much.
Yes.
You're talking appeal. I'm going to terminate Amber Patwell. It's going to be an appeal. I'm going to terminate this guy. It's going to be an appeal. I'm going to do this. It's going to be an appeal. It's ridiculous. And it's going to cost 3 times as much as they're ever going to get. And sometimes, what is a bird in the hand is, I don't understand, this is like you say, terminology coming from the bench, but it's a show. You can come up with what the first word is.
When I go to Ms. Catwell and I say, we'd like to subpoena you, we'd like to depose you, we'd like to get to the bottom of
I get it.
this, they throw up a brick wall.
I get it.
We just want to know. If Your Honor says, I'm ordering the Guardian to not investigate this,
So, I actually I signed an order authorizing him to pursue it.
Right.
So, Mr. Rivard,
Yes, sir.
you still hold some of the keys to our ward here. You have the right to consent to medical and mental health treatment, to contract, to sue and defend lawsuits, to personally apply.
You're breaking up a little bit here.
Okay, well, to personally apply for government benefits, to manage property or make any gift or disposition of property. And
Yes.
what is your thoughts on this foreclosure suit? Do you think it's worth pursuing ultimately, or you think it's, just spending more money? I mean, I don't know, listen, let me just ask you, I don't know how well off Patricia is or isn't. I have wards who have millions and millions of dollars, and if they blow a couple $100,000, it doesn't really impact them. But then I have wards who don't have that much money, and, pissing away another 200 grand or 300 grand will seriously impact them. So I'm just wondering, I don't want you to give me an amount, but is she, how well off is she?
She's going to be fine, and that's where I would leave that. This isn't really the issue.
How is she doing, by the way?
This house with the Bernsteins, the $225,000. It's really just a slap in the face because the property's worth a lot more than that. I mean, it's South Florida. It's Boca Raton.
Okay, well, first of all, I don't know when this judgment was rendered. You can't go by today's values, number one.
Oh, I understand that.
And they've gone up a little bit. No wonder the Bernsteins would like to settle. I'm sure they're but regardless, this annoys me. Regardless, how's her health?
My aunt is very active, and she is totally with it in terms of being able to go out and exercise and do things like that.
Good.
And she can remember things when you prod her.
Right.
But if you go back and we talk to her, 5 minutes right now, and in 15 minutes try to ask her what we just talked about, she wouldn't be able to tell you that.
Can I ask a question? So,
her memory is shot.
yeah, all right. So Patricia and her husband sold it to the Bernstein family or something, parents,
I think probably you're in a better position to ask that question than I am.
right?
To my children.
To what?
To my 3 children through an LLC that my children owned. They skipped me and my wife because we had a car bomb in our car with people trying to murder us. So my parents were trying to hide the asset with Walter Sahm, who was my dad's good friend, who my dad bought out quite handsomely and retired Pat Sr. and Walter to the villages.
So I'm saying, but my point is your dad and your mother or whatever, they were, I guess, close with the son.
Yeah.
Right.
Partners. My dad bought him out and put him into pasture, is how his wife would say it, and and quite generously, by the way. So the deal.
But I'm assuming they gave somebody a pretty good deal on this house.
Yeah,
And who got the good deal? Was it
my 3 children. Yes.
And who's supposed to be paying the mortgage?
The mortgage was supposed to be paid by my dad's estate.
Okay, and they didn't pay it or what?
No, because my brother and his attorneys, who have already been involved in several frauds on the court, like forging estate documents, blocked it and have been blocking me from getting the money to pay the Sahms for years. And they're supposed to be trustees for my children, but they're forcing them into a foreclosure with Joanna. And by the way, one last point, Your Honor. Joanna Sahm was representing her mother through a power of attorney. She did not present that power of attorney to any third parties like the court or us, so nobody knew. So a judgment is really entered in Patricia Sahm Sr.'s name, but she didn't know anything about the court case. She signed affidavits in her mom's name. Okay, that's where some of the fraud comes from.
I see this case is loaded with honesty.
The honest thing is, Your Honor, is that Patricia Sahm, the board, wanted to settle the case.
Okay, but here's the thing, okay?
Through 2 attorneys.
Here's the thing. This is like a bad movie of the week, okay? And, I would love to force the guardians to settle it, take the money and run. But I should allow him to look into it. I'm not saying he's got to take action to vacate it. I'm not saying I would approve that action. Any action he takes would be approved by the court. But I would be remiss in my job if I didn't give him the tools to look into it. And that is, he should know everything that went on in that settlement case and make an informed decision. And whether I agree or don't agree, I'll certainly be in a better position to decide the issue. I don't want to just make a snap judgment. The little bug in the back of my head says, all these legal fees ain't going to be worth it. But I don't really know. So I don't know what happened. But I think I should give him the opportunity. I did give him the opportunity already by court order And so we seem to be getting these roadblocks. So, you know, he's in a position as guardian for Patricia. And as guardian, and I gave him the authority to manage, you know, her property. I gave him the authority by separate order to pursue the foreclosure action. He has the authority to waive any privilege she has. He's her guardian. Court ordered, court appointed. And so to the extent that's an issue today, I grant the waiver. Okay, so Ms. Patwell is free without concern. There'll be a court order. And she's free to, I want him to review documents. That's all I want. Review what happened. You know, listen, I kid the Bernsteins. I don't know these people. You know, I see him in court. I've never met him. I'm sure they got a lot of information that, you know, the ward and his lawyer would like to know. And let's get to the bottom of this already. This is ridiculous. We spent hearing after hearing after hearing, repeating ourselves. And it's stupid. You know, I've never once heard anything about, you know, today's the first day I heard something about the ward, how she's doing. It's about Amber, it's about her client, it's about you, it's about your client, it's about everybody but the ward, and it's not right.
Not agree the ward needs to be the priority, and she's being isolated from my client.
Listen, if there's a hearing that needs to be had, there's a hearing. Right now, listen, honestly, I wasn't the criminal judge. But how, she was arrested for, what, aggravated assault with a firearm? And was allowed to remain in that home. It never would have happened if I was a criminal judge, okay? So, I don't know what happened. I'm not going to guess what happened. Somebody will take care of that in a separate proceeding. So, you know.
Yeah, the main concern was just the fact that a guardian may have a right to waive certain privileges, but if you make a blanket ruling that this guardian, in this particular case,
I'm giving him the right to waive her attorney-client privilege as it pertains to that foreclosure proceeding, the foreclosure settlement, whatever happened in that realm, the privilege is waived. And I'll sign a court order, and Ms. Pat will be protected. I'm not waiving her privilege for her lifetime. I'm not, it's just...
and we're not asking for that.
Because how can Mr. Rivard, with his lawyer, make an intelligent decision that, you know what, we should just take the money and be done with this, and we're done with everything, and we're done with appeals, and we're done with, you know, or whether there's more to it, I don't know. They got bonds being put under, I don't know what the hell's going on with this case.
I understand.
I don't know what kind of business you're all in, but maybe I don't want to know.
I was just concerned about the waterfall, that any guardian can turn around and waive the ward's attorney's privilege and get all the information, and the ward would never have any privacy protection. That was my concern.
The ward's privilege is waived, as I said, only as to the foreclosure lawsuit, the proceedings regarding the settlement. Right? That's it.
That's it.
So let's get on with this, and we are churning fees, the meter's cranking here. And I really want to try and put a stop to it. All right, Amber, so anything you want to add to that, or you understand there'll be a written court order, and...
Yes, Your Honor, I understand the court's ruling, and I will abide by it.
Okay, thank you. All right, so what else we got to do? So you need to get documents, which I'm going to hand you.
Right.
They don't look that interesting, but I'll give them to you. Anything interesting there or juicy there, Amber? I don't know, don't look like it.
Your Honor, I would say there is a couple pages of my client notes of all my conversations with her on the phone. So I would ask that you don't give those over. I can summarize, you know, in relation to the foreclosure, because those are all the notes I have. That's the only issue on those particular documents that are privileged, I believe.
Well, I mean,
We would like to see the notes, Your Honor.
the notes are, I assume you were retained to represent her for the foreclosure. I assume the notes are relative to the foreclosure.
Not all of them are, is the point, Your Honor. It does contain some notes about the foreclosure, but it goes beyond that.
Well, where are the, I'm looking and I don't really see notes, so I'm trying to.
Well, we are asking to waive the privilege with regards to the guardianship as well, Your Honor. The reason for that is because of Miss Patwell, and I'm not saying that she did or she didn't, but if she knew or had an inkling that her client was incapacitated when she facilitated her entering into the settlement agreement, which the only copy of the settlement agreement that I have was executed May 22nd of this year, that is germane to our petition to terminate Miss Patwell, which is set for hearing today.
Your Honor, in response, I mean, obviously, Ms. Sahm was present for the initial hearings, and she told the court herself she did not think she was incapacitated. She's always been adamant that she did not need a guardian. We did enter into the settlement because, obviously, for best interest purposes. And so, I mean...
Yeah, my understanding, though, I mean, a lawyer really isn't under an obligation to make a determination of capacity when they talk to their client. At least I've been told that when they sign wills. You know, I guess unless they're, you know, totally out of it. But
You have to determine whether or not your client has a threshold capacity, whether or not
well, I
they have
assume that, you know,
capacity.
well, since it's a limited guardianship, I assume there was a threshold somewhere. So nobody said it was a plenary required. And,
No, but I believe everybody did say that she did not have it.
so, Ms. Powell, I'm just looking at what you provided, and I see client's invoice, I see, notes of client calls, is that what you're referring to?
Yes, Judge, I can look at the number it was, I can't
Yes,
recall.
number
it,
9.
but
Well, I mean, I will look through those then, and if I think it pertains to something outside of my order, I'll exclude it.
Okay, thank you. Yes, I would just like it to be redacted if it's
Yeah.
not relevant to the foreclosure proceeding. Thank you.
Fair enough. All right. And so assuming you get everything you need, and Mr. Avar gets everything he needs, and Ms. Garcia provides you with all stuff she has regarding this foreclosure and settlement, how much time till we can get a decision whether we're going to take this settlement and be done with it?
It depends on how much information Ms. Garcia looks like she's got a pretty hefty stack there, but I don't know.
I could read it into the record and hand it to her here.
That's not going to happen.
I'm here for the hearing to terminate Ms. Patwell, and it's the
Well,
allegations
listen.
that Ms. Patwell and I, by the way, somehow at the last minute coerced this client illegally to enter the settlement, and I have proof that that is untrue.
Well, let me just say
and it's
this.
an attack on us personally.
Nobody's, I think they would like to look into that, that's all. I don't think anybody's saying that happened. They don't know whether it happened because they have, listen, they have a contract signed by a person who was already found to be incapacitated. Right? May 22nd, she was determined to be incapacitated, at least by the examining committee, not adjudicated by the court, but all I did is, it's like a rubber stamp. The lawyers agreed, boom. But the examining committee, at the time they saw her, said she had a limited incapacity, and so the agreement was signed after that. Honestly, they probably wouldn't be doing their job if they didn't at least look into it.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, I have to be direct with the court.
Be direct.
I believe that you're being misled by them about the history and settlement. I mean, I have retainers from the prior attorney from April 11, 2023 that they retained to settle this, which was run off by an impersonation. This case is only filed.
But here's what you're telling me. Hold on.
Mhm.
It sounds like what you said, Joanna was, she had a power of attorney, she disclosed it, me and Joanna, she's committing a fraud, blah, blah, blah. The bottom line is Dad, Papa Sahm, sued the Bernsteins, okay?
To preserve statute of limitation and never intended to
I
pursue
don't
it.
know what he intended. He filed a lawsuit with him and his wife suing the Bernsteins. You say it was only for this reason. If he really never intended to pursue it, what did he care if the statute of limitations ran or not? That makes no sense. So he hired a lawyer, he sued. Okay? All right. I mean, all this stuff about she had a power of attorney, who cares? We're talking about a settlement agreement, period. Is it in the board's best interest or not? If they say it's not and want to litigate, I get it. All the stuff hits the fan, great. I'm hoping we don't go there. I'm hoping with a little cooperation, they'll be content and say, listen, it ain't worth chasing the dollars, and let's just be done with this. But
That will never happen without a court order with the other side. They will steadfastly never, ever settle anything.
well, I'm glad you feel that way.
I disagree with that.
I disagree.
I don't know Charles,
Huh?
but I don't know Charles, but from the filings I've seen so far, he's rubber stamping Joanna's misrepresentations. And I don't know if he's being misled by Joanna or what.
I haven't even heard
Something's
from
wrong.
Joanna.
Stop slandering my client.
I know, I think listen, this is the guardianship of
Hasn't
Patricia
started.
A. Sahm, a co-plaintiff in a lawsuit against the Bernstein, who is now a incapacitated ward. I don't care about Joanna, I don't care about any of these people. Okay, my only interest, and I think Mr. Rivard's on the same page, I hope,
Yes.
was this an appropriate settlement or not? That's it. Okay? If they would think you and Ms. Pavlov were in cahoots, then that's their problem. It's got nothing to do with me. But, you know, listen, I'd like to get it resolved. I'm sure the Bernsteins would like to get it resolved. And let's move on, taking care of a ward, which is what the hell this is supposed to be about. You know, it's very frustrating. Because it's, you know, this stuff, you guys could have just met in a damn conference room and resolved this thing.
Boy.
File discovery, we get objections, so.
So I've entered in order as to the, I'm going to basically hand her, Ms. Patwell, all of the, whatever you gave me, other than those notes, and I'll read.
Your audio is breaking up for me.
Okay, well, I'm here, so anybody is always welcome to come to the courthouse. Anyway, hopefully, can you hear me? Amber, you can hear me? You're muted. You're muted, which is how I usually like the lawyers, but.
Yes, I couldn't hear all of what you said, it was kept going out,
Okay.
and I could hear little interjections of voice.
Well, the problem is, we're totally reliant on our internet with this thing, and it doesn't work very well. But if I use my computer, it works even worse, so. Somebody here writing everything down. She would never be able to write anything down if I didn't have the screen on. Anyway, I'm going to give her all of the documents other than the notes, which I will go through and redact if I think it's appropriate. Otherwise, I'll get those to her as well. Ms. Garcia, can you commit to the court that you guys, without, slinging mud and throwing swords, and can arrange some time to get together and go over whatever you think you have relative to the, you told me you got a ton of stuff.
I'm trying to do that.
Okay, great. Well, let's do it. Let's get this done and let them make a decision. And if I don't agree with it, I'll nix it. I don't care. If I don't like, if Brevard Custody says I want permission to continue this litigation, I may say no. Take the money and be done with this. I don't know. But somebody got to make a damn decision already. So let it be an informed one at least. All right?
Well, maybe just put that in the order, Your Honor.
Yeah, put it in the order. I'm going to,
And we'll meet and concur. We're ordered to concur, yes.
I'm
No, I'd
going
like to see the
to,
documents first before we can.
okay.
Because I don't know how much time we're.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I don't know what you got there. I mean, do you have a ton or?
What I have with me today, Your Honor, I have the power of attorney for March, the revocation of power of attorney for March and April. I have the retainer agreement for a Twig Trade and Tribunal, which Ms. Sahm had hired to settle the case in April.
That's a prior firm.
The prior attorney,
2023?
2023.
Okay.
And then I have an email from that attorney where somebody called from Joanna's phone to cancel the retainer. So as a result, then on May 1st, Ms. Patwell was retained.
I'd like to ask one question, because all of this, what Ms. Garcia is stating, is things that happened this year when arguably Mrs. Sahm may have been not adjudicated incapacitated, but practically incapacitated. Is there anything to support her contention that the settlement agreement was in the works for years? That's what I'm more interested in seeing.
Or, what year did this judgment get rendered, do we know? The 300 and something,
2021, Your Honor.
21. And it was appealed, I assume an appeal was filed, I don't know if it was ever briefed or not, but when is the first time a settlement discussion started?
There's been settlement since 2019.
Well, I'm just saying after the judgment.
Then during the litigation, it was settlement with the prior counsels. And then for me, I had the emails with her law firm, with John Raymond from February 2nd, 2023 to March 30th. And on March 13th, 2023, John Raymond, the attorney of her law firm, when I was asking him to clarify who am I settling with, the state or here, or what do we do when trying to get the funds released, he told me, Ms. Sahm is not under guardianship and does not need a guardian. Because I threatened to get a guardian for her. And they said she doesn't need one. And all of a sudden, when it got settled, here we are, we need a guardian. I thought this was a fraudulent guardianship. It is a fraudulent guardianship, in my opinion.
But the one that you wanted was okay? Well, she didn't need a guardian if she had a power.
Why are we, listen, I am trying to be very calm. And rarely professional, but I'm trying. And why are we slinging mud? Just making accusations and just figure out what we need to figure out and move on. Either it's a good deal, it's not a good deal. You can about all the fraud, or the this, or the car bonds, or this, whatever. Where is this? Who's holding this money?
The court register.
In a trust case for the 3 children.
Has 225 grand sitting there?
Yes, and we've been ready to release it, but I haven't filed a motion to release it because they brought up.
And how long is it? Are they charging to hold this?
No, and then no interest is being made either. I would like to release the money tomorrow. The court already ordered it would be released to satisfy it, which Judge Johnson had ordered. The money will be released to satisfy the mortgage.
She ordered that?
Yeah.
And she said, but then Mr. Rose, who's the attorney for Ted Bernstein in the case, said, well, you can't do that because there's a guardian and settle, but there's a problem with the settlement. And so everybody's muddying it up and preventing us from resolving
Well,
it.
it's very muddy.
Yes, it is very muddy. The
I'm
muddiest
knee
cases
deep
I've
in
seen.
mud here.
35
I
years
call it
is
shit.
one of the worst cases I've ever seen, Your Honor.
Don't say that because I haven't seen what's being filed next week. Okay? They're getting all nasty.
I have faith in you, Your Honor. It's resolved.
Well, I'm trying, I would like to keep the accusations to a minimum and just do what we need to do.
I would love to see this family united. I would love to see Patricia with her mom. I would love to see Joanna and Patricia get
You may need to
along.
put a metal detector. I don't know what's going to happen with that case, but I'm going to hand your documents, such as they are, to counsel, and I've got, really, for the record, is her response. 2 pages of typed notes, so if you want to hang tight and just wait a minute when we're done, I'll read it.
Do that.
All right, what else? I'm not going to, Ms. Pamela, I'm not firing you yet.
Great, you guys.
Because I know you're having so much fun.
Well, why don't we do just a reserve ruling on that, Your
Yeah,
Honor?
I
That'll
know
give me
reserve
time
ruling.
to
I'm not
go through
gonna-
all of this, and if we need to set that for an evidentiary hearing.
Hopefully we
do that
don't.
at a later date.
Hopefully we don't, and hopefully we can just move forward in this thing. This is, I come in, I look at the calendar, I'm like, oh.
All of us, Your Honor, I believe.
I'm like, come on, what time is happy hour? This case is getting me,
There's no need to finish, Your Honor.
there isn't. I agree with you. All right, so let me just say something while we're all here, between Mr. Rivard, Ms. Patwell, Garcia, Joanna, the Bernsteins, everybody here. Okay?
Dr. Navarro.
What's that?
Dr. Navarro.
No, I'm not talking.
I said I'm Dr.
I
Navarro.
know who you are.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry about your dad.
Yeah.
Oh, no, what happened?
That's
Oh, my God,
Oh.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
So, business about it, but I'd like to try and get things calmed down and get to the point we need to get to. So hopefully we can do that. I mean, everybody's been professional. Let's just keep it that way.
Right. We don't want to see repeat what happened to Dr. Navarro here.
Well, I hope not. That I certainly don't. And all right. Anyway, so I'll reserve ruling. I'm going to look at these notes in a minute, and I'm either going to redact or not redact as I think is appropriate. Okay, Amber, and you're muted.
Here, do you want me, I don't know if you want to redact, if you've got something to do that on Adobe, or I can send them to you in Word also, if you want me to email them to your
Well,
data.
all right. Let me just take a quick look here. Hold on. I will just say one thing. She points out the daughters don't often see eye to eye. Said if her husband was still alive, none of this would have happened.
Yep. Until Joanna took over.
And Your Honor, she's repeated that statement.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. But that's life and guardianship for it, unfortunately. You know, it's often a probate battle before the person dies. You know, and it's not really one of the things I relish about being in guardianship. Anyway. And I note that the client was fine with CR, who's Mr. Rivard, so long as he will not listen to Joanna or let her influence him. Okay. All right, so I note, you've raised some issues. I really find it's all pretty pertinent. And who knows, they may even find it a little enlightening, Amber, so I'm going to give them number 9 as well.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so what I am ordering in this case, obviously I'm going to reserve any ruling on Amber, and what I'm ruling on this case is you guys really try and make a good faith effort to communicate, let's get to the bottom of this thing and let's get it resolved, okay? Yes or no?
I'd love to do that.
Great. You think there's a pot of gold there under Bernstein's car? Maybe it was a pot of gold and not a bomb. I don't know. But,
We just want to fulfill our fiduciary duty.
I get it. So let's get this done. Let's stop the name calling. Let's stop the accusations. Let's stop all this nonsense, please. Okay, so hopefully within, I don't know, 30, 45 days, you guys can figure out what you want to do. I am going to require that any decision to either settle the case or pursue further litigation needs to come to the court, okay? So this ain't going to go on forever. One way or the other, we're going to get to the bottom of it, okay? All right, anything else, folks? Mr. Rivard.
Yes, sir.
Charlie, can you hear me, Charlie?
Yes.
Patricia seems to have faith in you
That is awesome.
to use your judgment and what you think is best.
I believe I hold her husband's wishes
Okay,
and,
good. All right, so you know where I'm coming from. Let's try and get this thing back. Okay?
absolutely.
All right, what else do we have coming up here that we need to, hopefully nothing until we decide
We
this.
have some motions to strike some notices of alleged interested parties. They're coming up next month.
And we have, more importantly, is the visitations with Patricia Jr., her mother. There was a temporary injunction, an ex parte temporary
Right.
injunction entered at the hearing.
It got continued or something, you
Right.
guys agreed to extend
My
the
client
injunction.
testified, I reserved the cross.
Okay.
Joanna stuck to her testimony, you stopped it.
All right.
We made an agreed order to temporarily extend the injunction with no findings and no admissions for 60 days.
Okay, so,
They submitted an order to the court, Your Honor, they're making findings,
all right,
and
well,
they refused to provide a transcript. So I filed a motion to compel them to provide a transcript. And then he filed an amended motion to appoint a Sean, I forget his last name,
legally.
yes. So he can prosecute or find violations of this injunction, which I'm going to be filing motions to set aside.
That's,
So there's a big issue on that injunction.
Hey, Charlie, where do you live?
Michigan.
Indianapolis, Indiana.
You're in Indianapolis, okay, and Patty is here, right, in Florida?
No,
No,
she's in North Carolina. She's North
oh,
Carolina.
she's in North Carolina.
She left here because of the injunction. She went to North
You're talking about,
Carolina.
not Patty Jr., Pat.
Oh,
Patricia,
Sorry.
oh, she's here.
she's here.
Yes,
That's
she's,
what I'm talking about.
yes,
And Patty Jr. is where?
North Carolina.
So she wants to see her mom?
She wants to have telephone calls with her mom. We've been trying
No
to get
reason she can't
arrangements.
talk to her mom?
It's set forth in the injunction, the circumstances under which we have asked for specific times to set up Zooms because we do want to record those calls given the circumstances, and we are not been provided time. But we have to know when the calls are occurring so we can record them.
Mother can't use them, and I can't begin to tell you to create some email stuff nasty.
You know what,
I
Your Honor,
can't.
no, this needs to stop. This needs to stop.
Can we order the visitation today so we don't have to discuss it again?
No, there's an injunction.
Can solve all the world's problems.
We're trying it one time.
Plenty.
None of this is set for hearing today.
I get it. But does Joanna see her mom?
There's no injunction against
Does Joanna see her mom?
This is the mother. Yeah,
Does Joanna talk to her mom?
every day.
From what I could see with Amber and her notes, she would probably like to see her other daughter. Or talk to her other daughter.
She calls her constantly. She keeps calling. She
Who
wants
keeps calling?
the ward. The mother keeps calling her daughter. Her daughter's living with her. She loves her daughter. She wants to speak to her.
Oh, they talk every day?
Every day. No,
In
she
violation of the
calls.
injunction?
She calls her.
My sister speaks to my mother every day.
How do you know?
My mother's phone is on my phone plan, as my family plan after my father passed away. So I see all of my mother's phone records.
We need to set up something for them to speak.
Your mom did mention you were controlling like your dad. No, but that's, you'll see in the notes.
I already know. I saw Dr. Sugar's report.
So, Your Honor, if there's a need to modify an injunction, it's not just, I'm coming to court on something else and I'm asking Your Honor to
I
order.
just asked why she can't talk to her mother.
We have,
And if she has been great, then there shouldn't be an issue. So if she's talking to her, why are we even asking?
She has to hang up on her whenever she calls because she keeps calling her mother. It's her mother. She loves her mother.
So, for the record, I'm gonna let her, she's still in North Carolina.
Yes.
I'm gonna let her talk to her mom.
so you are modifying the
I'm gonna
injunction.
say you cannot talk about any litigation. Do not discuss any litigation. Foreclosure, criminal, or anything else.
How do we monitor and enforce that, Your Honor?
If the word blurts out that they talked about the case, then you'll know. But certainly not gonna have her eavesdropping on the call.
I will make sure my client understands that, and when her mother discusses it, she will tell her, I'm sorry, Mom, I can't discuss the case. Let's
Talk
just-
about anything else.
Exactly. That's all my
She's
client.
telling me they're talking every day anyway, so I'll just approve it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
This is great today.
All right, anything else?
I will express to you, Your Honor, I
You're
understand
gonna
why
be
you're...
listen, I want to answer this nonsense. This isn't about the daughters. They got their own problems, good, let them go do good at it.
I'm afraid that this is going to cause more problems, Your Honor. And I will express that on the record, and I hope that I am wrong.
Cha-ching, cha-ching.
First of all,
Sir,
stop it. Do that.
all I want to do is protect this lady, Your Honor. All I want to do.
You can talk to her daughter. I don't know what harm that's gonna cause, candidly. She's not gonna be a witness in any litigation because she's incapacitated. So what do I care? Let him talk. If she wants to talk to her daughter, she wants to talk to her daughter. If my husband died, I'm all alone in the world, I'd probably want to talk to my kids. But I don't really see the harm.
I've stated my position, we'll abide by the court's order. I'm not sure how to write this one up.
You can do the order on allowing the phone calls, you can do the other one. All right, anything else, folks? Always a pleasure. Please come back on after sir.
Sorry.
The next ruling is going to be holding you in contempt.
I'm crying too. You could get me for that. You're an honest man. That's great.
All right, well, I'm trying. So, let's
You are.
behave, everybody. Take the temperature down. Please. All right, thank you.
Damn, baby.
We'll see each other again.
You guys have a great day.
All right, take care. Good luck.
Thank you, Natalie.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I just want to thank you for what you did in my dad's case. A lot of the same muddying is going on with the same people, but
Hope
you
you're doing well.
you gave me 6 months.
Oh.
I appreciate that.
I'd like to shake your hand.
No.
Oh, fist bump
Third down.
from afar.
Fist bump. Okay.
Thank you.
Spread the love.
That
Be good.
is the key. Spread the love. Thank you.
Thank you.
You don't even fist bump.
I'm good, thank you.
Okay. Honey, you got your stuff?
You're welcome to leave, Mr. Burton.
I'm waiting for my attorney. Yeah, hold on.
If you'll just wait outside for me, please, thank you.
What? Shiva? Yeah. Oh, Inger was fucking great. Oh, I'm bawling. I'm actually crying. I haven't applauded a judge in 20 years. But that. Oh, shit.
She doesn't want to be mean to the judge because that does never.
Oh no, she was perfect. She won.
Direct.
Who?
Just don't say
Are there any comments going back and forth? Okay.
But,
I'm just checking.
oh, no, I know him.
Do you want to drop them off? It's a lot. Do you want to drop them off? It's a lot.
They want.
Okay, perfect, thank you. I was just making sure.
Oh, no, he was just not talking
Oh, with her.
My mistake.
Ah.
I was just making sure.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, I'm sure she just said something like, oh, he's gonna. Did she say something to you that I would say something to her?
Oh, no, he thought we were.
Okay. All right, no problem. That's exactly. That's why she said I won't leave till Mr. Bernstein does. What?
Yeah, no, she thought that you were arguing with someone.
Who with that lady?
Yeah.
Oh, that lady's
Because my hair's long,
disgusting.
so that's.
Turn my recorders off. What?